Hey, what's going on, everybody? Showing up the king, the one and only, and I'm here to bring you my review for Young Justice Invasion, episode 17. First, I want to apologize for this video being about a day late. I was out of town handling some personal business, so I had to take care of that before I could bring you guys the reviews. But it's Sunday, and I'm still here to bring you my thoughts. I actually just got finished watching the episode. I didn't even get a chance to watch it, so all the information is still fresh in the noggin. Um, Episode was fantastic. We're winding down. If I'm not mistaken, we have about 2 to 3 more episodes left, and the season is definitely becoming very solid. I'm going to give you a quick overview. I'm going to talk about some of the things I liked from the episode, some of the things that annoyed me, but it's not an actual reflection on the actual episode score. But enough of that. Let's jump into this review. All right, so this episode takes place mostly on War World, and it also takes place a little bit on Earth. We find out that Arsenal, of course, like I said, he did escape. We know about 2 episodes ago where the Mongol episode happened when War World actually first got here. He busted open the airlock to try to save himself from getting captured. And in the process, he did end up getting away. We didn't see him the episode after that, but in this episode, we see him running away through the War World planet ship, whatever you want to call it. Now, looks like he had been probably doing this for a couple of days because, again, his ammo is getting low. He looks like he's fatigued, but it's Arsenal. He's again one of my favorite characters from this season, and I loved how his storyline ended up. He's fighting off the Reach enemies and just doing a fantastic job of staying away and trying to figure out exactly what to do. He's trying to contact Watchtower. He's trying to contact, the warehouse. He's doing everything possible to contact someone to get some help. Now, on the other side of this, we still have Nightwing, and he's with Miss Martian. And apparently, for the past couple of days, they have actually been swimming and flying around the War World, trying to get a signal and a beat on where exactly the rest of the teammates have been taken. On the now that's with the Young Justice team. With the Runaway team, we have Static Shock is back. Virgil Hawkins, or Virgil, I think his last name is Hawkins, but whatever. Virgil Static Shock riding his trash can. Fantastic. I'm so glad they decided to bring him back and the other team back. And it looks like they've, with the help of Lex Luthor, have been able to go ahead and, develop their abilities more. The Chinese girl, she can, shoot off on her little sonic booms again. Jaime's friend, he can now control his astral form to his full potential. The other guy can now teleport, and he almost is like Nightcrawler-ish. But again, I'm not gonna go on that a little bit too much. And again, it looks like Virgil Static Shock has full control over his electric abilities to control anything electrical or metal or what have you. Looks like they have been just at this point just vandalizing the area, and then eventually Lex Luthor gives them orders to go ahead and try to rescue the team. Now, we all know with Lex Luthor, he never does anything out of the kindness of his heart. So there is a plan involved if Lex Luthor is behind it. They actually get on the ship and they do mount a rescue, and ultimately the team does get freed. With the help of Free Mongol and Blue and Black Beetle end up in a huge fight. Some of the things I want to talk about, I'm going to actually talk about some of the things that annoyed me about this episode. First, there's a scene with Nightwing and Miss Martian. They actually are back at the original site of where the team had been kidnapped, and they're just looking around trying to figure out exactly what's going on. And then all of a sudden, Spear comes from behind this random wall and it's like, "Hey guys, I found you." And I'm like, what? Where did Spear come from? Like, where the hell was he hiding that number of times that Robin has searched that area? I think by his own admission, he said he'd done it like a dozen times. So just so randomly, Spear just popped out from nowhere, and he's just like, "Hey guys, I can lead you to Superboy." and then transforms and takes them off. So that to me was just a little bit too convenient. But again, it didn't really hurt the score, so I didn't really have that big a deal. One of the other things that really pissed me off, at the end of the episode, after Arsenal and the Runaways rescue the entire Young Justice team on their own, mind you, Nightwing has the nerve to tell Arsenal that he's off the team. Now, I understand Yellow Jacket, Bumblebee, whatever her name is, I can't remember. I understand her frustration with saying that Arsenal blew the airlock and almost caused them to lose. But in his defense, I wouldn't want to be captured either. So, I get the fact that, he's been, in a pod for 8 years and no one came to save him. So, yeah, I kind of understand why he would not want to be captured at any cost. Now, trying to kill the whole team, yeah, that's probably not really smart. But in the end, I didn't like how Nightwing had to tell him that right away, like right there in front of everybody. Like, by the way, thanks for rescuing us, and when we get back, you're off the team. I just thought that was really a dick move, and I feel like just him just doing that, especially after offering the Runaways a spot on the Justice team, Young Justice team, I was like, I wouldn't have taken your offer on that one anyway. I'm just like, this dude just saved your life, just saved the entire team, and you just kick him off the team just like that. So I'm just like, that was dirty in my opinion. I feel like Robin, Nightwing definitely should have not done that. Now, some of the things that I actually did really enjoy from this episode, the fighting. This show, the combat in this show never disappoints. Like, whenever I go in to watch this show, it's never about me wanting or hoping that the action is going to be good. It's always solid. Like, every single episode, if there's fighting in it, it's good. So we got Arsenal running around kicking the Reach's butt. Then we got the Runaways running around kicking the Reach's butt. Then we got them versus Black Beetle. Then we got Mongo versus Black Beetle. So much action, so little time. Now, one other thing I do want to talk about. On Earth, now this surprised me. This really surprised me. On Earth, the leader of the Reach, the ambassador, he's doing an interview with the what is his name? The news reporter guy. I almost want to call him Rush Limbaugh, because that's what he reminds me of. But the crazy talk show host who's always against aliens actually did something pretty smart. He's interviewing the ambassador and talking to him, and then the ambassador's thinking, "Oh, I'm playing you guys for fools." And the TV host starts hitting him with these hard questions. He's like, "Why didn't you tell us that you had warships under our seas?" And of course the ambassador's like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about, blah blah blah." So of course they had it on tape, him saying, "We only have one ship that is not armed," and and then of course he's like, "You told a bull-faced lie." Like, I really enjoyed that part of the episode, because I felt like he's not just some idiot who's just like going along with somebody. He actually does have some sort of common sense to realize, I'm not going to believe what anyone just says just because they say it. So it's not like he just hates the Justice League. I think he generally doesn't have a thing for aliens in general. And of course, Reach is trying to take over, and they're just trying to, fool the humans, or the meat, as they like to call humans. So I just thought that was really cool that he was able to pull that off and ruffle the feathers of the ambassador. Now that's probably going to lead somewhere too, but we'll have to wait and see about that. Now the last thing I want to talk about is Lex Luthor. Like I said before, Lex Luthor never does anything out of the kindness of his heart, and of course this episode proves no different. Essentially, Lex Luthor sent the Runaway team in to distract Black Beetle and the Reach so that they could steal the crystal that controls Warworld. Deathstroke makes a brief appearance, and he's able to steal the crystal back from the Reach, and then now the Light is in possession of the actual crystal. Now I know a lot of people want to talk about this, because I know in my last video where I discussed this, everyone's wondering, why would Lex Luthor go against the Reach when the Reach is actually a part of the Light? And I can tell you this for one reason, and this is a perfectly good explanation. Lex Luthor doesn't work with anybody. He is a triple crosser, he will screw anybody over for his own personal interest. Do you really think that Lex Luthor is going to let aliens come into the planet, especially as much as he hates Superman, and actually try to take over the planet? Not going to happen. If the Reach was working with the Light, trust me, Lex Luthor's plan was never to allow the Reach to take over. Period. End of discussion. The Reach probably thought they were fooling Luthor, but Luthor always has a plan. He always has a way to screw you over in the end, and this was his plan from all along, to stop the Reach, but also further his own ambitions and goals. I wouldn't be surprised at the end of this season that Lex Luthor in the Light is going to end up being the last end-all be-all villain for the series. Unfortunately, like I said, the show is going to be ending, but now that I think about it, if the season has to end, I'm glad it's ending on this term, because it can only end on a high note, and I'm happy for that. But I want to know what you guys think. What do you think Luthor's ultimate plan is? Because we know this crystal only works in the confines of the War World, so it's only used to control War World. So we know that that's what ultimately these people are trying to do. Even though War World only is like a new element that just arrived, it's not like the War World was a setup from the beginning. Even though Vandal Savage did make Mongol actually bring it to Earth, so maybe this was a part of the plan the entire time. I don't know, but that's why I'm asking you guys, what do you think the ultimate plan is for the Light? Comment in the section below. Also, I want to know, when do you think the original Justice League team is going to be finished with their little political problem they have? Let me also know in the comment section below. Definitely thumbs up the video for another fantastic episode of Young Justice. I think we're about 2 to 3 episodes left. This is Showing Off the King, the one and only, and you guys have a fantastic day.